Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The single best idea, and the single best idea coming out of this Friday into the weekend, is really pay attention to what smart people are writing. It takes some time to write those essays. They don't just happen overnight. Trust me, they're not using ChatGPT. And the answer is, what I'll be doing this weekend is thinking about our conversations that we had, but also looking at essays in real time. Late last night, Adam Posen of Foreign Affairs magazine and the Peterson Institute published a short, brilliant piece on trade, like Paul Krugman would do or Glenn Hubbard would do. Forget about the politics of it, Republicans, Democrats, just what do we know about trade? And I really urge you to listen for that within our conversations. An exhausting day, but just exhilarating with the quality of the guests we had. We really tried to stay on the markets. At Bank of America, she invented their quantitative ESG analysis. She is their U.S. equity strategist with a huge global reach. Savita Subramanian on the moment.
If you look back on what happened in prior periods of protectionism, prior periods of stagflation, whatever we're heading into, value stocks outperformed treasury bonds by a massive margin. The last thing you want to be stuck in during a stagflationary environment is long duration bonds. They have no options. Whereas stocks, to me, are the best place to be in an environment where you need those options. Companies can extend or shorten their duration. We saw this with Meta and Google in 2023. They both initiated dividends and transitioned from being just pure growth to value. I think this is a really interesting time to think about value equities, companies that are returning capital like utilities, even metals and mining, even, energy companies where the dividends are sacrosanct. I think those are areas that you really want to think about.
Savita Subramanian. Now it's time for a clinic. I want to get this in before we get to Jordan Rochester. It's just as simple as this. The financial media, out of convenience, think Bobby Axelrod on Billions, we conveniently quote fixed income dynamics off of yield. And as the wonderful Liz Goldenberg, she once cut me over my left eye here. She threw a Manolo Blahnik shoe at me, and the heel hit me just above the eye. I had 2 stitches from Liz Goldenberg. She was so angry at me because in times of crisis, yield doesn't matter. And what matters is price. And in the old days, like in my ute, we quoted yield and price together. And then that went away in the financialization in the last 30 years or so. I can't emphasize enough, when you see yield up, what people in bow ties are really saying is price down. And that's where we are on this Friday. And I have no idea where we'll be on Monday. If you think you do, just good luck with that. The answer is, every time somebody quotes yield, think price down, because that's really what's going on here, whether you're Jamie Dimon or somebody with a Christmas Club account at JP Morgan. Jordan Rochester does not have a Christmas Club account at a big bank. He's at Mizuho, hardwired into the flows around the world, particularly from China and his Japan and London. Jordan Rochester on flows.
One of my key concerns earlier this week was about dollar funding, because the whole world was facing such higher tariff rates for US. What you're going to see is that exporters to the US were no longer going to receive their dollar receipts, and then dollar funding would become an issue. The only good news that I can give you is that you just had a record Q1 imports in America. And so a lot of these exporters around the world will be sitting on a dollar cash pile that's a little bit more healthier than usual. Right. And now we've had this 90-day reprieve at 10% tariff rates. I do see the flows of commerce still taking place between Europe and the rest. But the problem is with China, with these extreme tariffs that we have. We've got a 145% tariff rate on China. It's one of the largest trading partners in the world with the US. And so you're going to see a dollar liquidity issue at some point, unless we have a climb down.
Jordan Rochester of Mizzou, and again, their team is outstanding. Dominic Constant, Stephen Rasciuto, and Jordan Rochester. Look for their work, published this weekend. You'll see some of those headlines out on the Bloomberg. I think we'll leave it at that. What I know is I got a euro at 114. I think I just had a 452, 453 10-year yield. Let me know if you know where we're going to be on Monday. Right now, we're on YouTube podcasts, and of course, all of the work we do. Thank you for an exhausting week and for your attention to Single Best Idea.